Hey y'all, and welcome to We Find Joy, where we are unapologetically living a joyous life boldly. And today we are going to be talking about fixed and variable expenses. What are they and how can you determine what they are in your budget? This is all in our Money Made Simple, the Budget Blueprint course, with the goal that by the end of this course, you will create a bold budget. Bold budget is one that you believe in, one that is objective, one that you can leverage, and one that you can depend on. And we are doing the necessary work to build our knowledge, to build our skills, to make sure that we have all the pieces ready to go to create this bold budget. Our last video that was just in this series was all around how to track your expenses. And in this video, we are going to be using what we did with tracking our expenses to then figure out and determine what our expenses are for our fixed and what are they for our variable expenses. If this is your first time watching one of my videos, hello, welcome. We are working to unapologetically live a joyous life and do it boldly. And one area of that is within our finances, so that way we can reach our goals and to do the things that bring us joy. And so in this, so if that sounds like it's something that you enjoy and want to do as well, we not only talk about finances, we talk about family, friendships, freedom to do the things that make us happy, fitness, we talk about faith. So it's a really holistic view of finding this joyous and creating this joyous life for us. This workbook that I'm working out of is all a part of the course. You can find it on my website at theboldjoycode.com, and it is a companion workbook that goes along with each video of the course. So the course is in the playlist, so if you want to get caught up, definitely feel free to watch those videos, and we are going to get started. So the video today, like I said, is all around understanding and identifying what are your variable and fixed expenses. Within our budget, it's important to know which categories your expenses fall into, because that determines some things of creating this bold budget. It gives us a blueprint, it gives us direction of where our money is going, but it also helps us to reflect, to figure out any changes that we might need to make. And these changes can happen on a yearly basis, on a monthly basis, on a quarterly basis. So it's important that you know what to look for as you are doing your budget. So what I first want to show you is, this is what we worked on in our last video. And what we did is pretty much we talked about income, how can you identify your income, but the bulk of it was talking about expenses. And expenses are what you spend your money on a weekly, monthly basis. And so what we did together is I took 5 days out of my budget and I went through and listed what the expenses were, how much it was, and put them into categories. The categories really helps to identify within my budget where my money is going. It kind of puts them in buckets, and that's kind of how I visualize my budget. And so as I'm looking at the expenses that I did, this also helps me to identify, are these fixed expenses or are these variable expenses? Now, we'll come back to that in a second. So what are fixed and variable expenses? Fixed expenses are, these are your regular cost expenses that stay pretty much the same every month or every quarter or on a bi-monthly basis. So these are, and this is how I've defined it since I've started budgeting, pretty much these are the expenses that if you don't pay them, someone's going to be calling you, you're going to be getting an email, something's going to be shut off. Those are the types of expenses fixed expenses are. Those are your reoccurring expenses that come out of your budget. Most of them are just like bills. So this is regular costs that stay the same every month or quarter. If you don't pay it, someone's calling you. So some examples of this would be rent or mortgage, car payment, subscriptions, credit card payment, debt payment, internet, cable, phone. So you get the idea of what some of those examples are. I'll bring you in a little bit closer. All right, so variable expenses are costs that change based on your choices, your usage, and yeah, I would say aren't the same every month. They don't reoccur. So this can be, now some people might put groceries under fixed expenses, and while yes, you have to eat on a weekly basis, the amount varies, right? And so one week you might need to do your bulk shopping, getting all your household supplies for the month. The next week you don't need to buy all of that. You only might need to purchase a couple of things. So it's variable. It varies in the cost. So examples of this is groceries, same thing for gas, any like entertainment stuff. If there's a concert, yeah, you're going to pay for it, but it's not happening every month. Like personal expenses. So this could be like the getting your hair done, your nails done. Now it can be that you do it on a monthly basis, but this is something that like if you need to take it away a month, nothing's really going to happen, right? Like you might be upset you can't get your nails done, your hair done, everything did, but you have that flexibility to make the necessary changes that you need to. So I would just say like this is flexible spending. So that's how you identify in your budget if it's a fixed or variable expenses. And I'm going to actually show you within this past week what for my budget would be considered fixed and what would be considered variable. So Dollar Tree miscellaneous, I don't know what I got there. So it's not like a standard thing that I go every month. Well, I do go there every month, but y'all get it. So this is a variable. Car payment, that is a bill, it's fixed. Wawa, variable. Target, variable. Wawa, this is for gas though, that's fixed. Variable, variable. This is a bill, so that is fixed. Variable, variable, fixed, fixed, variable, variable. So like hair, I'm not getting my hair done every week. I'm not getting my hair done. I should get it done every month, but that doesn't happen. So that is why it's a varied expense. Why are my V's looking like check marks? Okay. Food, that is variable. Apple, this is a bill, so this is fixed. BJ's, it's food, it's fixed. No, I'm sorry. It's variable. Variable, fixed, fixed, variable, fixed, variable, fixed. All right, so we've identified in my budget what are the things that are variable and what are the things that are fixed. In my last video, I talked about, okay, I'm looking at my expenses, like what are some things if I want to reach my financial goals, if I need more money in my account to do X, Y, and Z, what are something that I can that I could stop doing or remove? And what I'm looking at is you go through it. The first thing I would look at is my variable, right? So for personal, $198, many of them are on the V's. I can cut some of that stuff down. But then I also look at the fixed, right? So is there a bill that I don't necessarily need? In the last video I talked about Zoom. I most likely don't need to pay for the premium thing. I can do the free 40-minute one and that should be fine. I need to then take this out, and now I have almost $20. Okay, that's pushing it. But anyway, now I have almost $16.95 that I can put towards my other goals. So I can put to additional payment or additional amount to X or my loans or things on those lines. And you might not think that $15 is going to do a lot, but it will because it adds up. So the next thing on here, it says, next to each expense, indicate an N and for need and a W for want. Now, in your budget, you can, doing this worksheet, you can write down your fixed and you can write down your variable on here. Since I already did it over here, I'm just going to leave it here. And we're going to do that on this sheet. So, many of them, do I need them? No. Do I want them? Yes. So, this is a want. This is a need. So I'm going to go down and do all of it. All right, so again, we're going to do the same thing. Let's look at each expense and like what's a want and what's a need. And then this again will help us to identify like, do I actually need to keep it in my budget or am I just doing that? And if you have the money to keep it in your budget, great. But if you're trying to reach some goals, pay off debt, go things to savings, you might want to take it away. So the one thing that I notice is like the gym. Now, for my husband, he would say he needs it, and he definitely does need it. But I'm just using this as an example because that's for his self-care and stuff. But if it gets to a point where we're like, you know what, $50 every month can go to our financial goals for maybe 6 months to reach that goal, we can maybe stop it or delay it, and then we have that $50. Another thing that, so it's a fixed expense because it's a bill, but it's a want because it's not something that like we definitely 100% need. It is for him, so I'm gonna say that, but I just want to give that an example. Okay, here's another example for me, since I just used my husband. Michael's, it's a want. Did I need it? No. Did I go and get the stuff at Michael's? Yes. Could I have saved $50? Yes. So again, this process really helps you to dig deep and have the real conversations with yourself based on your budget. Your budget don't lie. The numbers don't lie. You might put on a facade of it's one thing or another thing, but the numbers are here. This is your reality. So if you have financial goals, which everyone should have a financial goal, no matter what you're doing, no matter how much income you have, whatever your financial goal is, if what you're spending on a monthly basis isn't helping you to reach your goal, then change it. Change it. For me, it's like all these personal things, I don't need it. Because I know what our goal is for the family. And to help me get there, I need to do something different. So what I want you to do is go through your own budget, look at your expenses, identify what is your fixed, identify what is your variable, and then determine if it's a want or need. And then based on that, determine, can you remove something from your expenses that will help you to reach your goals? And that is our plan, because the plan is that we are creating a bold budget, one that we believe in, one that is objective, one that you can leverage, and one that you can depend on. And having these pieces in your budget and identifying those things will help you to create one that's going to work for you and best meet your needs. So y'all, that was it. That's the video for the day. The next video we're going to be talking about is our budget categories. And budget categories is a great way, like I said, to really help, chunk your budget into buckets to help you budget out your expenses better. And so that's going to be our next video that we'll talk about. If you enjoyed this video, make sure that you like and comment. Make sure that you subscribe to the Joy Fam. We have fun over here. I'll see you in the next video. See ya. Bye-bye.